And welcome back to Big Board Sports right here on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Chris Honorado sitting in for Roger Weiland this morning, of course, on his way back from Louisville after Albany almost pulled off a big-time upset at the Yum Center, 3 from Devontae Campbell that went begging, but let's all be honest about it. Even at 10:15 when we talked to the head coach, Will Brown, he said he was fouled. We will do more of that later on in the show, but it's going to be a big night at Shaker today. They will pack the gymnasium as the Blue Bison get set to retire Jeff Hoffman and Tommy Canley's baseball jerseys. Incredibly, wore the same number. I mean, I would imagine that if they hadn't retired it, everybody would be running to get number 23 at this point. And Jeff Hoffman, who now pitches, of course, for the Colorado Rockies, good enough to join us this morning here on Big Board Sports. Jeff, good morning, man. I would imagine it's been a little bit of whirlwind here for you to try to get home for this ceremony in between off-season workouts. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been kind of a surreal experience this year, and now with the ceremony tonight, it'll definitely be a cool experience for me, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Can you give us a little bit of perspective here? I mean, we were at Citi Field, Ashley Miller and I, to cover your first start in your home state with the Rockies. You get the win that day over the Mets. So you have experienced, the highest of the highs at a major league level, and now here you are coming back to your hometown, your high school, to see your high school jersey retired. Give me a little bit of perspective, if you could. Like, how big of a deal is this?
Yeah, it's really, like I said, it's surreal. I mean, I never really envisioned this. But when I was obviously at Shaker, I was just kind of trying to get to the next level, which was college. And then, I never really envisioned having my number retired. So being able to come back and to have this kind of honor, it's really humbling, and I'm really excited to get everything underway tonight.
And I know you'll catch up certainly with a lot of family members and friends for the little bit of time that you get to spend in the area here before having to go back to, will it be either Arizona or Colorado, to continue working out. How is it that 23, right? Tommy wore the same number as you 4 years earlier?
Yeah. I actually didn't even realize it because I never played on state team, but to know that we both wore the same number, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons that they pushed for it to be retired so quickly is because we both wore it. So it's kind of a weird coincidence, but we're both. I mean, can't speak for Tommy, but I feel like we're both pretty honored to be able to be a part of this kind of honor.
And I know both you guys, your schedules are slammed. We're going to catch up with Tommy Canley after the Christmas holiday, so I appreciate you taking the time with us here this morning. Jeff, let's talk about your progress as a major league pitcher here. You spent the most time in your career up at the big league level this year and found plenty of success with the Rockies. Are there specific things you're working on this offseason?
Yeah, absolutely. There's always stuff that I feel like I need to get better at. That's just the competitor in me, and I feel like as a pitcher, there's definitely room for me to grow, both mentally and physically. So this off season, we're just gonna, I'm gonna get in the weight room, try to get stronger, like I always do, and then from those strength gains and everything, that's gonna allow me to make the strides that I need to make as a pitcher on the mound. So just trying to get my fastball command where I feel like it needs to be, and that's I want it to be at the highest level for a major league pitcher. That's the highest level in the world, so that's what I expect of myself. And if I can command the fastball, then everything else will fall into place.
You and Tommy both throw gas. Now, obviously, he comes in for a shorter amount of time, so he can really let it rip and go to 98. Take me back to, I don't know, when you kind of first realized, like, were you mowing kids down in the 6th grade? Did you realize, like, I've got something special in this right arm?
No, I really didn't. When I was coming up through Little League, I never really was like a power arm or anything like that. I actually was kind of like the utility guy. I kind of played wherever, my dad was a coach at the time, wherever he needed me to play. I'd play center field, I'd catch, I'd play shortstop, wherever they needed me. And I was never really the biggest kid either. I really kind of hit my growth spurt later in my life when I was about a junior, maybe senior in high school, and I shot up a little bit, and I started using my athleticism and my height to my advantage, and that's when I started throwing hard. So, I wasn't really like a power arm growing up. I just kind of came into my body and just figured out how to use my size to my advantage.
As you then hit that, Jeff, like, did you, as a kid growing up in New Jersey, man, I'd have been on the boardwalk, like, taking bets as to how hard I could throw against the radar gun. Did you like get challenged in any way? Like, how far can you throw this object that isn't even a baseball? Even in college, I guess.
No, not really any of those experiences. I remember being in some amusement parks and trying to win some like stuffed animals and stuff at the radar gun, but that's about the only thing. I've never really been challenged and really opened anybody's eyes by how hard I could throw something, but I've definitely used it to my advantage, trying to win stuff at the Great Escape or wherever I was spending my summers.
I love it. All right, last thing, Jeff, and I'll let you get out of here. Obviously, we're approaching on Christmas. As a kid, what is the best Christmas gift you've ever been given?
Oh, man. Best Christmas gift I've ever been given.
So, like, for me, I never had Nintendo growing up, but my brother and I, who are only a year apart, we got Sega Genesis one year. We thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I think one that kind of stands out to me is when I must have been 10, 12 years old, me and my brother both got these gas-powered scooters when we were younger. So that was pretty cool. We woke up to them in the garage, and I think we rode them all day outside, even though it was 20 degrees. But yeah, that's one that sticks out to me. That was a pretty cool Christmas.
That's asking for trouble, man. Couple of kids, gas-powered scooters, no doubt about that. Jeff, enjoy the night tonight. I know we'll be there for News Channel 13, obviously, and I hope you get a little bit of time to kind of relax and catch up with some old family members and friends.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thanks for having me.